Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. And today we're looking at verses 14 through 18 in Psalm 135. We have come to the end of the Ascent Psalms. Can you believe it? 15 weeks worth of ascending to Jerusalem. Well, at least 15 steps anyway. So since Psalm 120, we finished Psalm 119, we started the ascent. So we began in Meshech, and now we've made all the way up to Jerusalem. We are standing within the gates of the temple. We walk in and we say, "Bless the Lord, all you servants of the Lord, who stand by night in the house of the Lord." So this is a call to those who are serving the Lord, and I'm sure this has been used in worship there as a call and response. The Lord's greatness is described, and it's described by the four things that follow: creation, the deliverance from Egyptian captivity, the conquest of the land of Canaan, and now today we're going to reach back up into verse 14 or verse 13 and include that in our reading today for the fourth of these things that describe God's greatness. And let me read for you verses 13 and 14. "Thy name, O Lord, endureth forever, and thy memorial, O Lord, throughout all generations. For the Lord will judge his people, and he will repent himself concerning his servants." So this is the fourth thing. God's greatness is described by creation, the Egyptian Exodus, the conquest of the land, and now by his unchanging nature. Notice, thy name, O Lord, endures forever. Okay, so right away we're talking about an eternal nature, forever, throughout all generations. So those two things, those two pieces tell us that this, what we're going to talk about with the Lord now, his greatness never wavers. It doesn't change. It's going to last. Nothing can hinder it from being what it is. It's great. He is great. He is good. His name is wonderful. So the name of the Lord endures forever. Thy memorial, O Lord, throughout all generations. That is, everyone throughout all generations, he's always going to have a remnant who's worshiping him. He's always going to have a people that are following him. And so it's still that way today. Notice verse 14. "For the Lord will judge his people, and he will repent himself concerning his servants." So this language of repenting himself is the same thing that we have in the book of Genesis. If you've been following the Bible Bistro University as we've studied Genesis 1 through 11, we've had this. God repented himself that he had ever made man. So here we have, he repents himself concerning his servants. Now it doesn't mean that he's repenting from something bad. No, it's just that he's going to divide himself or remove himself from his servants when they sin. Notice that the Lord's going to judge his people. Why would he judge his people? Because they fall away and they sin. Here he's going to repent himself concerning his servants. So it doesn't matter what the people of God do or how they act. And are we living in an age today when so many Christian, so-called Christian leaders act in such a way as to bring disrepute upon the name of Christ? But it doesn't change, ladies and gentlemen, the very nature of God, that it is unchangeable. His greatness is immutable. He is holy, and nothing is going to change that. He will judge his people when they cast shadow upon his greatness. He will judge them. 15 through 18. "The idols of the heathen are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, but they speak not. Eyes have they, but they see not. They have ears, but they hear not. Neither is there any breath in their mouths. They that make them are like unto them, and so is every one that trusts in them." So we leave the four things that describe God's greatness, and we go on now to examine this idea of God being over all the gods. Here they are. We have a list of them right here in verses 15 through 18. They're silver, they're gold, they're the work of men's hands, they have mouths, they have eyes, they have ears, they don't have any breath. That's what describes them. They are images of the created order. They are not God. It's vanity, ladies and gentlemen, to worship something like this. and they that make them are like unto them. What does that mean? That means you're in trouble if you're worshiping an idol. Because even though you have mouths, eyes, and ears, you're still not going to be able to see, talk, or hear, and breath will be taken from you. So be careful that you're worshiping idols, because the vanity of idolatry is warned here. Do not do this. Everyone that trusts in them is going to be like they are, dead things. All right, so join me again tomorrow. We'll look at the conclusion of the Ascent Psalms here in verses 19 through 21. I hope you'll join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.